So Feather and Bone is a butchery predominantly. We're a whole animal butchery, which means that we exclusively purchase whole animals. We have direct relationships with farmers, so we buy the animal from the farm, it goes to the abattoir and it comes to us. It's quite a challenging business proposition to exclusively run a whole animal butchery in an era in which people are increasingly sort of dissociated from the sources of their food and increasingly, I would say, infantilised. You know, our capacity, our traditional knowledge around cooking the whole animal, serving the whole animal, it's incredibly compromised now. People just don't have that information. And so if you're a whole animal butcher and you're buying the whole animal, you have to sell the whole animal to make a living and to reward the farmer for the work they do. So what we do is we have a kitchen, and our chef isn't working today, but the kitchen is really critical because it allows us to use anything left over. It's about using everything and finding ways to use everything and not wasting anything.
As a butcher, when I first started, for me it was just going to be another job. I slowly learned that it's all about respecting the animal in all of its aspects and making sure it's reaching its full potential in terms of nutrition, making sure we didn't take its life for nothing, and just making sure it goes to the right place, it gets used properly.
We don't sell anything from a farm that we haven't visited, so we spend a lot of time visiting farms and talking to farmers.
I would much rather work with farmers that are increasing their natural profitability through allowing their natural systems to thrive and prosper. So they're the people that we want to work with. And the meat that we're able to source from those farms, we don't really have to worry about its qualities because the imbued quality, the embedded qualities of those animals translates into very good meat for us.
What we are is storytellers, effectively. So we get produce from a farm. Our job is to communicate to our customers what this farmer is doing and why it's important and why it's valuable. Plus, it tastes amazing. I mean, food from these farms is just streets ahead and by far and away better tasting and nutritionally, and it's more satiating and all of those things.
Good animal welfare and a good diet, and not just a good diet, a natural diet, is very integral to having a good product, and it all plays into looking after soil.
A farm is a big community of all sorts of plants and animals and people and insects and microbes and so on. And within each of those categories, if you like, there are multiple communities. So in the soil there are multiple communities of hundreds of thousands of different creatures all working in competition and collaboration together. They are communities. A community by definition is a whole series of interconnecting and interreacting species. And so if you pull back from that and you think beyond the farm, we become really important in that whole community because we are facilitators of the work that's being done on the farm. We're enablers. Our job is to educate customers and to open their minds and to give them access to the wonderful produce that's being grown by these farmers in a way that transforms landscapes. And by extension, the consumer is equally important in that cycle. So this focus on farming is critical, and farming is where it starts, but we must also understand that there is a transformation required by everybody involved in this, and that it is a cyclical, circular process and exchange. We are all part of a community.